Welcome back to Peacock TV Spoilers. We are officially preparing for one of the most emotional goodbyes in recent daytime history. Hit that subscribe button right now because you do not want to miss a single second of this DiMera and Carver explosion. Wait, is EJ DiMera actually going to crash Lexie Carver's memorial and cause an absolute scene at the Brady Pub? Are Abe Carver and EJ about to throw down right next to the memorial wreath? You guys, the official spoilers are out, and Lexie Carver's funeral arrangements are officially underway, bringing a wave of devastation over the entire town. Let's get right into the raw spoilers for this week. The official word on the street is that Lexie Carver's memorial is officially beginning. Abe Carver is completely shattered, and stepping up to the plate to help him is none other than Roman Brady. Roman is helping Abe honor the beautiful life he shared with Lexie, taking charge and planning the entire memorial at the Brady Pub because Theo Carver is just too busy and overwhelmed with his own grief right now. We also know that EJ DiMera is spiraling out of control, violently interrogating Dr. Rolf over the failure of the resurrection serum. And the biggest spoiler of all, the looming explosive confrontation if EJ decides to show his face at the Brady Pub to mourn his sister. Okay, let's be real for a second. I need to go off on a massive unfiltered rant about what the writers are doing here. The absolute cruelty of this doctor. Rolf resurrection serum storyline is unimaginable. Are you kidding me? They bring a beloved legacy character like Lexie back to the canvas, give Abe and Theo this miraculous, beautiful reunion where they think they have their wife and mother back, and then the serum just fails. The serum stops working and she dies all over again. That is some next level emotional torture for the fans and the characters. I honestly believe the writers did this just for the shock value of a sweeps month plot twist, but it is so incredibly brutal. To watch Abe Carver have his heart ripped out a second time is just agonizing. We all remember when Lexie originally passed away from that brain tumor years ago. It was one of the most heartbreaking storylines in the show's history. To make Abe relive that exact same trauma, it is sick, it is twisted, and it is classic DiMera chaos. But I have to say, I absolutely love that Roman Brady is the one holding everything together right now. Roman is truly the unsung hero of Salem. Think about it. While everyone else is running around pulling guns, swapping babies, or plotting corporate takeovers, Roman is just quietly running the Brady Pub and being the most solid, dependable guy in town. Here at Peacock TV Spoilers, we've been tracking this storyline, and we think it is a brilliant move to highlight the deep, long-standing friendship between Roman and Abe. These two men have fought Salem's worst criminals together. They ran the police force together. They have had each other's backs for decades. Seeing Roman step up to organize a beautiful tribute to Lexie to ease Abe's burden is exactly what makes this show so special. It grounds the narrative in real human connection amidst all the crazy soap opera drama. You can always count on Roman to be a pillar of strength when the Carver family is falling apart. Let's take a deeper dive into the Roman and Abe dynamic, because I honestly feel like it doesn't get enough credit these days. Back in the day, Abe and Roman were the ultimate crime-fighting duo in Salem. They were the absolute pillars of the Salem Police Department. They took down drug rings, they battled Stefano DiMera's endless syndicates, and they always had each other's backs in the line of fire. That kind of brotherhood doesn't just fade away when you retire or change careers. When Abe looks at Roman, he sees a man who has literally taken bullets for him. So it makes perfect sense that in Abe's darkest, most agonizing hour, Roman is the one stepping up to shield him from the logistical nightmare of planning a funeral. Roman isn't just pouring pints at the pub. He is acting as Abe's emotional bodyguard. He knows that Abe is a powder keg of grief right now, And Roman is doing everything in his power to create a safe, loving environment for his best friend to say goodbye to Lexie. It is a beautiful tribute to their shared history. Now, let's talk about the massive elephant in the room, EJ DiMera. The big question hanging over this entire memorial is whether EJ is going to show up. We all know the backstory here. Before Lexie passed away, in those dark, dreary DiMera tunnels, she made it crystal clear to Abe and Theo that she did not blame EJ for keeping her failing health a secret. Lexie explicitly admitted that she forced EJ to keep his mouth shut so she could enjoy her final days in peace without Abe and Theo hovering, panicking, and treating her like a fragile piece of glass. She wanted peace. But grief is a funny thing, you guys. Abe's grief is so raw, so fresh, and he still harbors a mountain of anger toward the DiMera family. Even though Lexie absolved EJ of the blame, I highly doubt Abe is just going to welcome EJ with open arms. And what is EJ doing right now? EJ is grieving in his own violent, twisted, signature DiMera way. Instead of shedding quiet tears, EJ is literally interrogating and threatening Dr. Rolf over the failure of the resurrection serum. EJ is lashing out with pure venom. He is furious that the mad science didn't hold up. The actor playing EJ is absolutely killing it right now. Dan Feuerriegel is bringing this incredible, dangerous intensity to the screen that just gives me chills. EJ feels guilty, he feels cornered, and he is taking all of that rage out on Rolf. But the irony here is just staggering. EJ himself is a product of Dr. Rolf's resurrection science. EJ was brought back from the dead. For him to be screaming at Rolf for a failed serum when his own heart is beating because of that exact same science is just wild. But that is EJ for you. Hypocritical, arrogant, and deeply broken. If EJ walks into the Brady Pub for that memorial, the tension is going to be thick enough to cut with a knife. I can already picture the scene perfectly. Roman is pouring coffee, people are sharing beautiful, tearful memories of Lexie, and then the pub doors swing open and EJ walks in wearing a tailored black suit, looking like a total villain, but hurting like a little boy who just lost his big sister. I honestly think EJ deserves to be there. I really do. Lexie was a DiMera. She was his sister, and despite all the toxic family history, they had a bond. EJ loved her in his own messed up way. But if you ask me, Abe is not going to care about EJ's feelings. I would not rule out the very real possibility of Abe screaming at EJ and physically kicking him out of the pub in a blind rage. Let's look back at the history here. Stefano DiMera made Abe's life a living hell for years. Lexie constantly struggled with her dark DiMera roots versus her loving, moral life with Abe. For EJ to stand there, representing the family that caused Abe so much pain, while Abe is mourning the love of his life, it's a recipe for an absolute disaster. And we cannot forget about Theo in all of this. Theo is carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders right now. He is trying to be strong for his dad, but he just lost his mother for the second time. Can you imagine the psychological whiplash that poor kid is going through? One minute he is celebrating a miracle, and the next he is plunged right back into a nightmare. Theo is busy trying to process his own trauma, which is exactly why Roman had to step in and take over the memorial planning. I honestly believe Theo is going to be the wild card at this memorial. If EJ crashes the event, Abe will want to fight, but Theo might actually be the one to defend EJ. Theo has a huge heart, and he knows Lexie's dying wish was for peace. Watching Theo potentially stand up to his own father to protect EJ's right to mourn would be a heartbreaking Emmy-caliber scene. The layers of family loyalty, betrayal, and grief are just woven so perfectly into this storyline. The chemistry between these actors right now is just phenomenal. James Reynolds is giving an Emmy-worthy performance as a shattered Abe Carver. You can feel his profound pain radiating through the screen. And having Josh Taylor's Roman there to anchor him provides such a beautiful contrast to EJ's erratic, violent grief. It really showcases the two different sides of Salem. The wholesome, supportive Brady Carver side and the dark, destructive DiMera side. The writers are setting up a massive collision between these two worlds at the memorial, and I honestly cannot wait to see how it plays out. Will EJ respect Abe's boundaries, or will his DiMera ego force him to crash the event and cause a scene? My wild prediction: EJ shows up, Abe completely loses his mind, and Roman has to physically jump over the bar to restrain Abe from tearing EJ apart. But then maybe someone reads a final letter from Lexie, a letter that forces Abe to back down and let EJ stay, honoring her final wish for family unity. That would be the ultimate emotional gut punch that we all crave from this show. Whatever happens, you guys need to have your tissues ready, because this memorial is going to wreck us all. The tears are going to be flowing, the screaming matches are going to be epic, and the fallout will change the Carver and DiMera dynamic forever. So, I have to know what you guys think. Should EJ DiMera be allowed to attend Lexie's memorial, or does Abe have every right to kick him to the curb? Sound off in the comments below and let me know whose side you are on. Thank you so much for tuning in to Peacock TV Spoilers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an explosive update from Salem. See you next time.